Hello friends. Today I'm going to show you a few techniques to do on shorter hair, and then we're also going to style the front bangs for you on this one. So it's going to be simple, but you're going to get some nice actionable things that you can do on some updos moving forward. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the front. And so what I have done is I've created a section with the front of her hair, and I made it sort of like a triangle section. So I've started at the middle part, and we have made it to the temple on this side and down to the temple on this side. And then I'm going to brush this through. We're gonna do some hairspray first, and then we're gonna brush it through again to make sure it's nice and saturated. And then I'm gonna use a little bit of texture powder or spray depending on her hair type. Just a little texture spray for her because her hair is holding the product quite well. And I did it at the base, and then I'm just gonna back comb really, really gently just to get a little extra lift here. And then we're gonna curl away from the face. So the curling here, what we're gonna achieve out of this is not necessarily to get like a Shirley Temple curl in the front, but to make sure we're getting good volume off the face. And so by having this set while I'm doing the rest of the hair, that will just make sure that we get nice volume. So I'm rolling it forward, and then you can see that I'm kind of over directing it forward. So that means I'm coming more this way. I'm not going straight up and back. I'm going towards the front and rolling it back, and that's just gonna ensure a lot of great volume. And then I'm gonna use a pin curl clip to hold it in place, and you can do one on each side if you need to, and you can do a little extra hairspray to make sure this has lots of time to set. So we're gonna let that be. And now what I wanted to do is show you a technique that I've been using lately on hair that is either shorter or hair that's really thick and you have like a lot of blunt ends. So this really helps to make you have security in your updo, okay? So for this one, normally I'd want to make this nice and textury, but for the sake of time, we're just gonna do the technique on the hair that I'm working with right here. So we're gonna bring it all down low. So what I'm gonna do is just take 3 sections here. And I know that this hair doesn't have a lot of cool curls or anything beautiful going on at this time, but we're gonna make it nice with a little texture spray. So I'm just taking the top here, I'm gonna twist, and I'm just gonna pull it out a little loose and pin. Now I'll tell you what, this technique is not gonna work without curling if you're working on somebody who does not have really textury, like bleached out hair like she does, that I've done a million times with lots of product. So you're gonna have to do some prep on this hair if you want it to twist like this and then pull out nicely. That's not gonna work on hair that's really slippery. But for the sake of the technique today, this is gonna show you what I'm trying to teach you. So I'm just gathering the hair back to a base. Same thing over here.
Didn't understand that.
My gosh, my watch is asking me questions. I'm just using my fingers to comb through. Sometimes the hair texture allows you to use fingers to comb through, and sometimes you have to use a comb, because often what I get is brides, especially when you're getting to the fall and the colder weather, hair is really, really staticky. Where I live, it can get really dry, and so then what tends to happen is the hair really frizzes up if I'm using my hands. So this is just working today because, like I said, she's got a lot of hair that's already prepped from me working on it a lot, and so I can use my fingers and it's not getting frizzy. So by bringing all the hair back to the same location, I am creating a nice foundation here for my whole updo. So everything that I do when I'm working on updos is I make sure that I have a nice, strong, secure base. And the reason being is because you want something that you're kind of anchoring the rest of the hair to. And if you don't have that, then sometimes you get lost in your updo. Sometimes it can just get really messy, and often it can just fall out, which you really don't want. Okay, so what I've got going on is everything is gathered to my base right here. And I've gotten all the hair from the top of the ears on both sides pulled back. I pulled it out for a little bit of volume. Beautiful, easy peasy. Now this is the technique that I want to show you. So if you have hair that's really, really fine, this would be a great spot to use a bun form. And you could put the bun form right here on the space that you created. I don't have a bun form handy. So what I'm going to do is take the hair that is gathered from the top. So this is the hair that I pinned and I put here. I'm going to use a little bit of texture spray here. And this is going to be my bun form. So I'm going to back comb this. And then I'm going to roll it up. And this is what's going to make some nice volume for me to pin into. So I'm just going to secure that at the base. You might need a couple bobby pins to make sure that stays put. And this will give me some volume in my bun. Okay, so you can see that. So now what I've got here is hair all along the nape. And picture if this hair is about this short. If the hair is at the shoulders and you're trying to make a nice full bun back here and you take it and you twist it to try to pin, you don't have much hair to work with. It's going to end up being really flat against the head and you're not going to have a lot of volume. So with the technique I'm going to show you, it can help you create more volume when you don't have very long hair, or if it's just like thicker and blunt and it's hard to get a pin in. So you're just going to go section by section. And ideally, this would be curled. So I'll give one a curl for the sake of time. I'm not going to curl the whole thing. So I'll curl a couple here just to give you the idea of what I'm working with. So you're going to have curled sections, and then you're going to go back to your texture spray. You're going to spray the curled sections, and then you are going to take a small elastic, and you're going to secure the end with the elastic, like so. So if this was shorter, probably be closer to right here, and you're going to pull this up. So let's say this is short hair. I could put my elastic here and I have enough room to pull it up to the top of this bun form. And you can see that I have space here to kind of pull and make a little bit loose, right? And what I would do here, let me just show you. Makes more sense if I just do where the hair is shorter. So we're gonna say her hair ends around here, okay? So we're gonna put the bobby pin, or sorry, the elastic right here. And I'm gonna pull this out a little bit so it's loose. I'm gonna tuck this up, and then I'm gonna put my pin right at the binder. And so all I have to do is slide one pin in and push it into that base, and I can kind of pull it out to make it a little bit looser if I need to. But what that does is it gives us kind of that loopy look that we're looking for. It makes it fuller, but you have a lot of security because it's attached with an elastic instead of just bobby pins that can easily slide out. So I'll show you again in the middle here. Maybe it doesn't take that long to curl. I can put a little bend in this for you, right? Texture spray. And take your elastic. And we're gonna go right about here, pretending that the hair kind of ends here. And you're gonna bring it up to the top. You can pull it out to make it a little bit loose and kind of spread over that bun form, because you wanna make sure you're covering kind of that, either the bun form or the back combing. And then you take your bobby pin and you just put it right in front. So here's the elastic, here's my bobby pin, and I'm just gonna push it right down on top like that, okay? And then we're gonna do the same thing with the other side. So basically, you use as many as you need. So if the hair is really thick, you might do 5 or 6 across. If it's thinner, you can do just a couple across. Whatever you need to do to create security and also to kind of cover the bun form or the back combing that you created here. So something else that I do a lot when I'm working with really thin hair, that's kind of a trick, is one of two things. So one is because you're gonna have shorter ends ending up here, you wanna make sure you have a way to cover them. So my trick for doing that is either making sure that you save hair out in the front, which I did not do today. So I didn't leave any hair out front to bring across. But if I were doing that technique, I would leave a section in front of the ear out and then pull it across the top, because you want to make sure to cover these up, right? You don't want to have a bunch of bobby pins or anything here. The other thing you can do that I suggest a lot with hair that's really fine is using an accessory. And so what I would do is, after I get these all pinned in, so now I just want to kind of like separate to make sure that I'm covering the base that I did. You can take an accessory, let's see if I have anything in here, like something like this, and you can stick this over the top. This is really big. A couple flowers, something like that, that can cover these up when you're working with really fine hair. A wedding that I just did, she had dried flowers from an Etsy shop, and they were so perfect because I had a couple people who had really fine hair like this, and it's just hard to use a lot of bobby pins or anything to not have them show. So I could strategically kind of place them in the areas that needed a little bit of help to make sure I was covering. And the other thing you can do is, once you get this locked in, I can hairspray this, and then I can take some of these bobby pins out. So you can see like this one's kind of peeking through. Once this is sprayed and secured, I can go ahead and just remove that, and you can kind of use your fingers to spread the hair out a little bit, but you don't need to have all these in place anymore. So that's how I would secure the back, to just make sure all the hair on the nape is really staying up nice and secure with those bobby pins, or sorry, with those elastics rather than bobby pins. It just helps to make sure you don't have all these pieces falling out, because you know they're secure in the elastics. So that's the technique for the back. Now for the front, we've got our gal. Take this out. It's gonna stay put. You can comb through. We are gonna divide it into the middle part and let it fall. Whoa, mama, right? It's big. That's good. It's really hard to bring hair up. It's not that hard to bring it down. So I'm gonna use my finger to get this curl to go in the way that I want it. And you can just use a comb and kind of pinch underneath right here to get a little bit of lift, and have it fall on the side of the face with a lot of nice volume. Same with right here. So I'm just bringing this down a little bit with my comb. And you might need to kind of touch up the curls on the side, like if they get to be too heavy right at the bottom. I'll show you how I would do that. But the point of this set is to get good lift on the top, which we've achieved. So what I would do here then is I would put my hand underneath and spray, and even use my fingers to kind of just make sure I'm getting that good lift in the front. And you can see that I've got good lift on each side, right? Good lift here. That's a lot of nice volume, but you might not love, you know, having a lot of extra curl right here at the bottom. And so you can just come through with your iron and reform this curl a little bit by just gently wrapping it around the curling iron. I'm not going into that volume at all. I'm just wrapping around the bottom to get more of a natural looking curl here, like that. So again, on this side, you see how it's like a pretty heavy curl down here. You can come in, and I'm gently holding it long on my curling iron. This is the shape that I want it to look like. And then it kind of stretches that curl out a little bit. So you maintain the nice lift right here, but you get that more stretched out curl on the side, if that makes sense. So with a little accessory right here, That's a quick style you can do for someone with shorter hair, really thick hair with blunt ends, and it will last and last and last. All right, friends, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. Also, I've got a brand new boot camp that's coming up in January. You can get on the wait list for that. I'll put the link in the comments below. It's gonna be 6 weeks, and it's gonna be once a week, and we're gonna learn all things bridal hair. So if you are wanting to get into bridal hair, if you feel like you just wanna build your confidence up with updos, come learn with me in the 6-week progressive course. It's gonna be limited to 15 people to make sure that we can have lots of one-on-one time and really get you where you wanna go and get started on your bridal career. So the link is down there. Let me know if you have questions. Otherwise, get on the wait list for that, and I will see you in January, or I'll just see you on my YouTube channel next week. All right, friends, see you next time. Bye.